Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to this. These are going to be my thoughts from Futureshock 62, which I was lucky enough to attend last night back in the Guildhall for what has felt like such a long time, bearing in mind that we had the International Super Show at God, where was that? It was at the Royal College of Music in Manchester, of course it was. So. Let's just shut my MSN down. So, place is absolutely rammed, right? We waited in the car park for a bit for our crew to arrive. Went and got in the queue that went all the way around the block, and we were like, it's a good thing we've got reserved seats, isn't it? Because this one could be a bit tricky to find somewhere to sit together. It was all good, and extra seats being laid on before we started, which was really good. Damien Smith comes out and announces that Davey Richards will not be there, unfortunately. He's just received a video from Davey that hopefully we'll see later on the show. He apologised, offered refunds if you wanted them. All good, very, very class act by Futureshock. So, opening content. Sorry, I'm going to try and go through this one pretty quick if I can, because my battery's dying on here and my battery's dying on there. So, got to do this one quick, which isn't going to happen because I don't do being quick, but you know what I mean. So, opening contest, Josh Bowman defeating CJ Banks in a good trophy tournament quarter-final match. Now, these two had fought at Futureshock 58, which I missed because I went to speaking. The only Futureshock I've missed in a year. I think I can be forgiven for missing one. So yeah, I was genuinely looking forward to this one. This match did not disappoint one bit. Great mat work from both men. Banks does that lovely cloverleaf, he does. Josh does the lovely cannonball, he does. CJ calls for a brainbuster at the end, but Josh counters into one of his own for the win. That's really good, I like that one. He's my pick for the tournament. He's my pick for to be champion this time next year. So, all good. Next up, Bristol Rovers and Notorious BAD defeating the Models and the Blackpool Blondes in a fun, very entertaining match. This one, far too entertaining for his own good. It's like how it was at the Infinite show a couple of weeks back, where the Models, you find it just impossible to boo them because they entertain you so much, you know? But yeah, this one told a really good story at the same time, as the Blackpool Blondes and the Models were arguing all the way through the match. That arguing led to their downfall later on, as Sam Bailey and Reynaldo hit moves with a Z on both members of the Models to get the win. A lovely one in this one was, or something that just made me laugh so much, was that sort of Joey Hayes dropped his chewing gum on the mat. He was picking bends down, picks up, puts it back in his mouth. Danny Hope, quick as a flash, says, and that's not the dirtiest thing he's had in his mouth. Oh, heaven. Absolutely fantastic. Double neck breaking the Models is really nice. They do the human centipede spot in the corner, which is really funny. It's funny, but there was a bit where both the heel teams ended up in how should we put this, compromised positions in the corners, which was hilarious. Yeah, I was talking to Danny afterwards, and I was saying to him, when the titles aren't on the line, you don't have to be so serious. You can do the comedy stuff, and at the end of the day, the most important thing with this one is the crowd absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. The crowd were hot all night. They really liked this one. They laughed at the right places, and all that. Next, April Davis defeating Nikki Storm in a really good match. I enjoyed this one far too much. In fact, dear Futureshock, please stop putting on such good women's matches, because I can feel myself starting to enjoy women's wrestling more. And as someone who has gone into this year hating comedy wrestling and hating women's wrestling, and now starting to enjoy my women's wrestling, and I fucking love comedy wrestling. Like, oh no, what is this fucking industry and this bloody company doing to me? Anyway, Nikki Storm, please come back to Futureshock. I love you so very much. She was absolutely fantastic. I genuinely mean that. I really, really just sat watching her work going, yeah, I like this one. She's good. She's from Glasgow, Scotland, as she pointed out. She's not just from Scotland, she's from Glasgow, Scotland. She got right up in my face as I tried to take a photo of her when she made her entrance. Yeah, I'm not going to do a Scottish accent because it'll be terrible, but she was basically saying, you don't take photos of me. If you want to take a photo of me, you have to pay to get a photo of me. She's here. And I'm sat going, I'm sorry. That was it, yeah. But she was played the heel work absolutely perfectly. April Davies put her on a chair, an empty chair at one point, and did a running drop kick into her. And the crowd were like, one more time. And April just went, all right, and puts her back on the chair, does the running drop kick. And as she does the running drop kick, a guy whose chair it was prepared with the beers with this, what the hell have I just missed sort of look on his face, which is just fantastic. She used a choke to get the win. And then, in the final match before the intermission, Dave Rain defeating Chris Travis in a good match. Just really enjoyed this one. Nice fluid wrestling from both men, brawling on the outside. Some good fun thrown into the mixture as well. Put those three elements into a match and you're going to have a good time, aren't you? Dave came out wearing this new... He's been wearing this black and yellow shirt since the first match I saw him in, and I just thought every time I've seen it, I've gone, God, that's an awful shirt, hoping it'll replace it. And he comes out wearing this beige shirt that's even worse. It's just like, what on earth? And he's got his bloody cruiserweight trunks on, which just look, I don't like personally. One of the things that I've always liked about Dave is that his tights always look really good. I've got a really nice custom logo on it and all that. These ones have got a custom logo on, but they don't look right, in my opinion. Anyway, the point is, Dave Rain comes out wearing this shirt. Chris Travis gets the shirt and wipes his arse with it. He literally puts it down his pants. Fantastic. That was very, very funny. What was even funnier is a little spot that I've seen Dave do before, but not in front of as many people, where he takes the referee's glasses off and basically goes and puts them at the other side, on the other side of the ring, and the referee's crawling around on all fours, like, where the hell are my glasses? Where the hell are my glasses? Of course, it means that the good guy can hit their finisher, and there's no referee. It means, in some respects, it may telegraph the finish, but who cares about that? Rain wins by... He basically pushed Travis's hand into the referee's balls and then hit a deviate for the 1, 2, 3. Happy days. And also, right, that's the last match before the intermission, yeah? 4 matches before the intermission, and I got them all right on my predictions. Fucking yes. Come on. Anyway, next one. Johnny Fear defeating Martin Kirby. Now, I've said before that I'm not a massive Johnny Fear fan, but in this match, he really, really impressed the hell out of me, because he landed awkwardly early on in the match, in kayfabe, obviously, and Martin Kirby, who's working heel in this match, and that's something I've never seen before, and that was an absolute revelation. I loved it. I find if I ever see a wrestler who works babyface, right, the moment that I see him as a heel, I go, yes, that's much better. Well, not much better, but I just seem to gravitate towards it. I prefer heels. That's just how I am in British wrestling. People, right, let me give you an example. Chris Travis, I saw him loads and loads of times. Then at Southside, I saw him as Christopher Travis, playing a heel, and I just thought, oh, that's so good. My personal favourite heel, big heel differences are people like DDL, Dangerous Damon Lee, who predominantly works as a babyface, but the one time I've seen him as Deadly Damon Lee, I just went, oh, look at this guy. And then there's Sam Bailey, who 9 matches out of 10 I see wrestle as a babyface, but the one match that he wrestles a heel, you just go, oh, this guy's so good. Martin Kirby, another one of those examples. Every match that I've ever seen him be in, he was a babyface. That last night, he worked as a heel, and he worked it well. He was very, 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 very good. All his offense was concentrated on the injured leg. Thing is, Johnny Fear, when he got offense in, he worked over Martin Kirby's arm. He hit an absolutely monstrously large shoulder breaker, and eventually used that to get the win with a crossface. Great match with brilliant storytelling. Interestingly, Johnny Fear was the only one out of 3 men who were in the tournament, which is Johnny Fear, Martin Kirby, and Chris Travis, who came to the ring with his respective company's title belt. Because if you think about it, Martin Kirby is the GPW heavyweight champion, and Chris Travis is the PCW champion. I don't know if these men weren't allowed to bring their belts. I don't know, but Johnny Fear was in. I just thought that was interesting. So Johnny Fear advances, Dave Rain advances, Josh Bodum advances, and in the last one, we have Cyanide defeating Simon Valor in a good match as well. So this one started stiff, and I mean really stiff. I've heard before that from guys who've been in the ring, like if you get in the ring with Simon Valor, you expect to get punched hard. And these two started off with absolutely wailing on each other, which was fun. Cyanide rinsed a chair off someone, and he was going to use it, but Simon Valor came off the top with a nice clothesline. After a good back and forth battle, including an absolutely ungodly backbreaker by Cyanide, it sort of gets him up in the rock bottom position, drops him down on his knee, and it's one of those, damn. It's like a backbreaker that fucking Bane did on Batman. It's like that. You're like, damn. Anyway, Egan, remember him? He glossed Valor at Futureshock 59, so he threatened to do that again. And Bella's sat there going, come on, hit me. Turns around into that ridiculously massive choke bomb that Cyanide does. Gets him up for a choke slam and then sits down with it. So it's a choke sit-out bomb, I suppose. It's a brutal, fucking devastating move is what I'll say. So that's our 4 for Futureshock 63. One of these 4 men, Josh Bodum, Dave Rain, who of course has won the title tournament before, Johnny Fear and Cyanide. One of those men will be the #1 contender. Oh yes. It's like it works the same way as Money Bank. Can cash it in anytime in a year. So, didn't win the raffle. Always a bit of a shame, especially when bloody Roberts won it at GPW. He was not impressive. I really hope that I want to do a separate vid talking about the commentary that I did for GPW. One of the things that I'm really glad about is that we stopped the commentary for when the raffle's on, because when Cy stood up with his number, I went, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" really, really loud, and that could have got me in a lot of trouble, to be honest. I'm like, "Oh, come on!" I'm sat there, stood over the volume. You can't be serious. And he sat there like this up at me. Oh, it's funny. Anyway, with Dave Richards and Jack Gallagher, not Gallagher, he'll beat me up if I call him Gallagher, not happening, we wondered what's going to be the main event. It shows a graphic. Zack Gibson's Open Challenge. He is the #1 contender after all. He comes out, he spits a fucking incredible promo that I wish I could show. I actually filmed it, but I'm not going to show you it, because if you want to see it, you have to buy the DVD. But he cuts this promo where he rips Davey Richards a new one. It's talking about how he's got flu at the moment, and I know this is a fact. When I was chatting to him on Friday, I was like, "How you doing?" He's like, "I'm sick, mate. I'm really, really ill." And he won a Battle Royale on Friday night. He won Tag Team Championship at NGW on Saturday night. He was saying, "Even though I'm fucking ill, I'm still here and I'm still working." Anyway, ripping Davey a new one. Apparently, Davey's got flights booked and everything. Chose not to do them. Anyway, to cut a long story short, he says, "Here's an open challenge. Anyone in the country," and out comes Styx. And it's just like, oh, now then, this one could be interesting, because I like Styx a lot. I saw Styx at wrestle Mark Haskins at a Southside show recently called Supremacy. That was just amazing. A heated, incredible match. So very good. But just as you're thinking, well, it's a one-on-one match, out comes Jack Gallagher. So you've got a triple threat. Now, I'm sat there thinking, this could be bad, because you've got 2 baby faces, 1 heel. Normally a triple threat match works the other way around, doesn't it? When you've got 2 heels, 1 baby face. The baby face can overcome the odds of the 2 heels. This Jack gets on the mic and he rips Davey even more. Absolutely rips him. Apparently Davey's demanding more money. More yada yada yada. So my God, this was good match. This was on a show full of good matches. You could be forgiven for this one not being too great, but it was so good, brutal, hard hitting. Styx does this cross body. He has one. I can't remember if it's Zack or Jack, I'm afraid, but the image they're in the corner comes running across and does a cross body sideways onto them. Like, wow. That was good. Zack and Jack do a stereo dive onto the outside, onto Styx. All 3 men hit ridiculous suplexes that look amazing. Jack comes off the top, and it looks like he's going to do it into a DDT, but locks on a guillotine choke in midair and holds him down. That looks so pretty. Ankle lock by Jack is nice. Truly monstrous black hole slam by Styx. Diamond drill by Gibson. They all look incredible, and the match is... The whole crowd are going absolutely nuts. I mean, absolutely batshit crazy. Jack especially is, super popular. When Zack hits that diamond drill, the look of intensity in his eyes was just incredible. I've never seen that from Zack. That was fucking dope. But it was Jack who got the win, making Styx tap out to a Kimura, which was really, really nice. And then, as Damien had promised at the very start of the show, a vid played on the screen. And I've taken this from the Futureshock website because I couldn't quite hear it properly, but it basically said, Davey himself confirmed that he was at home, nice and warm and cozy with the Futureshock Championship draped over his shoulder. Davey said he wished he could be the grappler that Jack was, but also said he was a fighter and he would fight and defend the Futureshock Championship in the future. That's if management could meet his terms and conditions. If the price is right, said Davey, who would come back and defend the belt, confirming Jack's earlier claim that Richards wanted more cash to fly over his scheduled match. Davey also said he didn't give a damn about the Futureshock fans, and they only cared about himself and his Futureshock title belt. What does this mean for the Futureshock? The title is currently being held hostage in the USA unless management can meet Davey's terms and conditions. So, of course, a lot of people went away from this going, what a dickhead David Richards did, yada, yada, yada. I don't know if this is work. I don't know. I really don't know. A lot of people think I'm in with Futureshock management. I'd just like to, at this point, dispel that myth completely. I'm friends with Damien Smith, and I'm friends with Dave Rain, but I know nothing about the backstage, what goes on. Not one thing. I'm not lucky enough to have that information. And to be honest, I don't want it. Let me tell you something about Friday night. About GPW and I'll talk about this, I'm sure, on a vid that I'm planning on doing later on this week. I'm going to tell you all about my experience about GPW. I've got the blessings of the GPW promotion. Let me tell you, half an hour before the doors open, we have a meeting in the ring, the whole roster, and I'm sat there going, I shouldn't be here. And basically, I got told everything was going to happen. And I tell you something, that moment was the most uncomfortable thing I've experienced in wrestling. I guarantee you that. It was horrendous to be a fan of GPW and to be told what was going to happen. That was freaking awful. So if I was offered the pitch, I don't know if I'd take it. Futureshock. I want to work for them so badly, but I love not knowing. It's like on a Wednesday being told the results from the Sunday's pay-per-view. The Sunday, not the one that's just gone, the one that's coming up, the WWE pay-per-view. Would you bother watching it if you knew exactly what everything's going to happen? It's like the people who check the SmackDown spoilers. What's the point in watching SmackDown if you know exactly what's going to happen? It just spoils your enjoyment, doesn't it? Hence the name, spoiled. Anyway, I don't know nothing about the management. I don't get told nought, alright? I just really need to throw that, because twice this week I've been asked about it, and I don't know nought, okay? I really don't. And have no say with Futureshock management at all. I don't know what's going on with Davey. I really don't. If it's a legitimate attitude that he's demanded more money, then I really do think he can go fuck himself. And if I was Futureshock management, I would have a new belt made, strip him of the championship. Because the thing is, Davey's got the fucking belt over in America. So I'd have a new belt made, and I'd cut my losses and go fuck the guy. Just absolutely fuck him. That's just me. I mean, and that's if it's how it is. At the end of the day, it's one of those things that it's nothing to do with me. And I will tell you this: a lot of people came away feeling disappointed. I've spoken to, not because the show was bad, but because they went to see Davey, and it didn't happen. But I booked my tickets a month ago, and I've got my tickets for 63 already. I got them today. Today is Monday. The show 62 was yesterday. I got my tickets today. Because I love Futureshock so much, and I don't care about what they're going to be putting on. I don't care about the show, the card. I knew the card was good enough beforehand. Davey versus Jack was just an added bonus for me. So overall, because I've just waffled for ages, haven't I? This show is fantastic. I don't know how they keep doing it. I feel like I say this every time. Futureshock just seems to, every single time, their show seems to be better than the last one. And this, for me, this show is better than Super Show. And I say that hand on heart. I love the show, Super Show. Bought the DVD last night, put it in as soon as I got home, watched most of it, loved it, thought it was brilliant. This show was better in my opinion. I don't know whether it was just because, what I think it is the Guildhall is so good for atmosphere. Because there's loads of you crammed in there. It gets hot, it's ridiculously warm in there, you're squashed in. But the atmosphere in there is just perfect. And I think that's what, because match quality may have been better at the Super Show, but atmosphere-wise, I enjoyed this one more. Absolutely fantastic show. Came away from it with a massive smile on my face. Talked about the show all the way home. Me and Alex did. All the way after we dropped side off. All the way back, we're just talking about what a great show it had been. And can't wait for the next one. If you can ever get up to Stockport, seriously, guys, or if you're in the Manchester area, get to Futureshock. You will not be disappointed. I guarantee you that. I've been Mark P. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you went to the show, please let me know what you thought down here. I will see you all very soon. Take it easy, guys.